sports fans, welcome to Sports Central. Today, we're going to be going over my Week 8 NFL predictions. So last week I had a record of 5-8, and that brings my record on season to 67-39. But hopefully I can improve from 5-8 this week. Starting off things on Thursday Night Football, we've got the Bills hosting the Buccaneers. So both teams are slumping right now. The Bills have lost 2 of their last 3, and their one win is a 5-point win over the Giants. And the Buccaneers have lost 2 in a row. So both teams are looking for a much-needed win on a short week. And in those past 2 games for the Buccaneers, they've scored just 19 points combined. Now they're facing the Bills, who have the 5th best scoring defense in the NFL. And with how the Buccaneers' offense has been, I don't trust them to get enough points on the board. Even though the Bills haven't been great offensively either, I still trust Josh Allen and the Bills' offense more than I trust Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers' offense. So I'm going to take the Bills winning this one on Thursday Night Football by a score of 23-14. Next game, we got the Cowboys hosting the Rams. So the Rams have been pretty good this season despite their 3-4 record. And the Rams' passing attack has been a big part of their offensive success. Now, they face a great Cowboys defense that allowed just 16 points a game and just 177 passing yards per game, which is 3rd best in the NFL. The Rams' rushing numbers aren't bad this season, but they have a very banged-up backfield, so I don't think the Rams will be able to do enough offensively against a great Cowboys defense, because I don't think they'll have much of a run game with the amount of injuries they have at the running back position, so I think they're going to rely a lot on the pass game, and it's not going to be enough, as the Cowboys have a very good pass defense, as I said a second ago, and the Cowboys win this one by a score of 24-16. Next game, we got the Vikings visiting the Packers. So this is a game that could go either way between these 2 division rivals. Both teams have not been very good this season, but the Vikings have been better as of late, as they've won 2 straight, including an upset win over the 49ers last week on Monday Night Football. Meanwhile, the Packers, they're coming off a bad loss to the Broncos. So this is a game that could truly go either way, because neither team has been very good this year, and it's a divisional game, and those can always go either way. Even though the Vikings have been playing better, they're on a short week on the road, and the Packers have won 3 of the last 4 games at Lambeau. Packers are also a second-half team, so if they can keep this one close in the first half, I like their chances. I'll take the Packers with the win here by a score of 21-17. Up next, we got the Falcons visiting the Titans. So this is another tough game to predict. The Titans will likely be without quarterback Ryan Tannehill, so it will be either Malik Willis or Will Levis at quarterback. I would expect to see both, but whichever young quarterback it is for the Titans, they will have to face a good Falcons defense. And the Titans should have a good run game, but their rushing offense hasn't been amazing so far this season, and they now face a Falcons defense that allows just 95 rushing yards a game. So I don't think the Titans will have much offensive success. And the Falcons, they should have Bijan Robinson back for this game, and he should definitely help their offense. And I don't think the Falcons' offense is great, but they will definitely be able to do enough to get the win over a Titans offense. I don't think we'll be able to get anything going. They'll be lucky to get maybe 7 points on the board. I don't think they hit that. I've got the Falcons riding their run game and defense to win, and the Falcons get the win here by a score of 17-6. Next game, we got the Saints visiting the Colts. So the Colts are an incredibly weird team. They lost quarterback Anthony Richardson for the season, but they just scored 38 points against an elite Browns defense with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. And Gardner Minshew is solid, but this week the Colts face another great defense in the Saints, so we will see if last week was a fluke or if the Colts offense is actually really good with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. But the Saints, they've got a great defense, allowing just 285 yards per game and 18.1 points per game. But they have allowed a few teams to be able to score, like last week they gave up 31. Now, if the Colts are able to get on the board and get a lot of points on the board, then this game definitely favors them, because the Colts will easily be able to outscore the Saints, because the Saints offense is bad, scoring just 19 points a game. So if the Colts make it into a shootout, I think they win, because the Saints won't be able to keep up. My gut says the Saints will get the win here, but I like the matchup for the Colts. The numbers back it up, so I'll take the Colts with the win by a score of 30-20. Next game, we got the Patriots visiting the Dolphins. So the Patriots somehow upset the Bills last week, where their offense was actually decent, especially Mac Jones in their passing game. But they now face the Dolphins team, who's coming off a loss last week to the Eagles. These 2 teams played a close game back in week 2, where we saw the Dolphins get the 7-point victory. But I think the Dolphins will have a big bounce-back game, especially offensively, and they will put up way too much points. Even against a good Patriots defense, the Patriots offense will not be able to keep up, because while they were solid last week, don't be fooled, this is a bad Patriots offense. Last game was a fluke. They will not be able to repeat that performance, and the Dolphins will win this game pretty easily by a score of 34-14. Next game, we got the Giants against the Jets. So the Giants are actually coming off a win over the Commanders, where they won 14-7. Their defense has been good over the past 2 games, holding the Commanders to 7 and the Bills to 14. I'm expecting another great game from the Giants defense, as they face the Jets offense, who isn't great, averaging just 18 points per game. Now, speaking of great defenses, the Jets have one of the best defenses in the NFL, and the Giants have the worst scoring offense in the NFL, scoring just 12 points a game. This will definitely be a defensive game. We still don't know the status of Daniel Jones for this game, but I don't really think that's going to matter much. The Jets will get the win behind the defense, and this will be a low-scoring game, as both teams will play great defensive football. But I've got the Jets with the win here by a score of 13-6. Up next, we got the Steelers hosting the Jaguars. So the Jaguars have been great lately. They've won 4 straight. And the Steelers have also been better as of late. They've won 2 in a row. But this is a game that could go either way. I'm going to take the Jaguars with the win here because they can easily outscore the Steelers offense, which is only scoring 17.2 points per game. And I know the Steelers have a good defense, but there's only so much the Steelers defense can do against a very balanced Jaguars offense. Jaguars can just hurt so many ways that they get the win here by a score of 24-13. Up next, we got the Eagles visiting the Commanders. So on paper, the Eagles should win this game easily, but the Commanders and Eagles went to overtime back in Week 4, where the Eagles came out on top 34-31. The Eagles' defense has been great in the past few games and won't allow 31 points again to the Commanders. In fact, I expect the Eagles' defense to dominate this game, as Commanders quarterback Sam Howell is getting sacked at an insanely high rate. He is coming off a game where he was just sacked 6 times with the Giants, and coming into that game, the Giants had just 5 sacks in the season. The difference between the Giants and the Eagles is the Eagles are able to wreak havoc with their front 4, while for the Giants last week it was a lot of blitzes. So the Eagles will dominate this game, specifically their pass rush and defense, and the Eagles won't let the Commanders get anything going offensively, and this time it will be a blowout. The Eagles win this one 31-10. Up next, we got the Panthers hosting the Texans. So this is the battle of the top 2 picks in the NFL draft. The difference is one quarterback, CJ Stroud, has been great, while Bryce Young and the Panthers have struggled mightily. Both teams are coming off a bye and will be well rested. The Panthers have been terrible this season and are winless at 0-6. Now, I do think they have a chance to get the win over the Texans, but the Texans have been much better so far this season. I think CJ Stroud's strong play continues, and he will outplay fellow rookie Bryce Young, and the Texans move above 500 on the season to 4-3 with the 21-18 win. Next game, we got the Seahawks hosting the Browns. This is another game that is pretty tough to predict. The Browns are coming off a really weird game where their usually elite defense was not elite, and their offense was great with P.J. Walker at quarterback for the majority of the game. P.J. Walker will start once again for the Browns as Deshaun Watson is out with that same shoulder injury that he tried to play through last week but was unable to. The Browns also have some other offensive injuries, such as running back Jerome Ford, who is unexpected to play with an ankle injury. Now, I could see the Browns being a popular upset pick because of their defense, but I think the Seahawks will be able to do enough offensively, even against the Browns defense that has been very good, except from last week. But the Seahawks will be able to shut down a banged-up Browns offense, and Seahawks get enough points on the board to win, and they win this one by a score of 20-14. Next game, we got the Broncos hosting the Chiefs. So these two teams just met 2 weeks ago, where the Chiefs won 19-8. They now square off again. The Broncos are coming off a win, but they're still a brutal team. Their defense has been a little bit better over the past couple games, but I don't think they're going to be able to completely stop Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' offense. The Chiefs' offense is just too good here. The Chiefs have won 16 straight against the Broncos, and the Chiefs will get the win again and beat the Broncos by a score of 31-16. Next game, we got the Cardinals hosting the Ravens. So the Ravens are coming off a dominant win over the Lions and now have to face one of the worst teams in football. The Ravens are playing like one of the best teams in the NFL, and they've been great so far. Their defense is the best scoring defense in the NFL, allowing just 13.9 points per game, and their offense took a while to get going, but their offense was insane with a 38-point outburst last week. Now, with how well the Ravens are playing right now, there's only a few teams who can beat them, and the 1-6 Cardinals are not one of those teams. The Cardinals dropped their 5th straight game as the Ravens dominate by a score of 27-7. Next game, we got the 49ers hosting the Bengals. So the 49ers will likely be without Brock Purdy as he's in concussion protocol, and that means Sam Darnold will start this week for the 49ers. The Bengals start coming off a bye, and they have to face the 49ers, who is a team that has been struggling lately. They've lost 2 straight after their 5-0 start. The 49ers will also be playing with their backup quarterback, but the 49ers, they do have the run game and defense to get the win, but the Bengals are a team that isn't very good against the run, so I could definitely see the 49ers having their way on the ground, that being the way they do things offensively. But with Sam Darnold at quarterback, I just don't think the 49ers can get it done. The Bengals hand the 49ers their 3rd straight loss, and the Bengals win by a score of 21-13. Next game, we got Sunday Night Football, and that is the Bears visiting the Chargers. So we will have a live watch party for this game at about 8:15 Eastern Time on Sunday, so I hope to see you guys there. But the Bears will be starting undrafted rookie Tyson Bagent at quarterback, as Justin Fields isn't going to play with his thumb injury. But the Bears somehow beat the Raiders with Bagent at quarterback, so maybe they can get another win against the Chargers. And while the Chargers have struggled lately, they're much better than the Raiders. And the Chargers also are in desperate need of a win. Justin Herbert has struggled lately. I think he has a good game against a Bears pass defense that is 4th worst in the NFL. And the Chargers get a much-needed win as they beat the Bears by a score of 27-13. And our final game, we've got the Raiders visiting the Lions on Monday Night Football. So we will also have a live watch party for this game starting at about 8:10 Eastern Time on Monday. So again, I hope to see you guys there. But both teams are coming off bad losses. The Raiders were blown out by the Bears last week, and the Lions were annihilated by the Ravens. Now, the Lions need a bounce-back game in a bad way, and they have a good opportunity to do so against a bad Raiders team. The Raiders defense just allowed 30 points to Tyson Bagent and the Bears, so I think the Lions will have their way offensively, and the Raiders will not be able to keep up on offense. Plus, we also don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo is playing for the Raiders as he's battling a back injury, but if Garoppolo plays or if he doesn't play, the Lions win this one fairly easily by a score of 27-14. But those are my Week 8 NFL predictions. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. Make sure to check out the community tab of my channel where you can vote on who you think will win some of this week's big games. But thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.